Welcome to the Fulfilled After 50 podcast. We are your hosts, Alice
and Carol. Join us each week for your fun dose of inspiration and healthy tips you can use every day so you can live the healthy and fulfilled life you desire and deserve. Hi, everybody. I'm Carol Clark.
And I'm Alice Edgerton.
And we are here filling you up with your Fulfilled After 50 podcast. And today we've got a great topic on board.
Yes, excited to bring you the 5 love languages. So we're going to just hit just a little bit on our relationships with our spouse and how to keep it alive.
That is right. And I know you've probably heard of the 5 love languages. It's a book actually been out since 1995 by Gary Chapman. But what we were going to do is try to relate it to the midlife woman.
Exactly. Yes. So, we always feel like, how do we keep that spark alive when sometimes a little bit of us is dried up?
That's right. Or tired, or irritated, or...
That's right. It's like, so you have to learn that love language of your spouse. So just identifying what it is. And what are the 5 love languages?
There are, like you say, 5. The first one is words of affirmation. The second one is acts of service. Then we have receiving gifts, those that like to receive gifts. Spending quality time together, and then also physical touch. And you can actually relate these to any significant other or great friend, any relationship that you have, in order to make that relationship that much more enhanced.
Exactly.
And I can say that understanding not only my love language, but the people that I'm around that I care about, that I want to help serve, knowing their love language, it can make the big difference in terms of a relationship that really thrives and one that kind of struggles and creates frustration.
You're right. Yeah, because he has a book on the 5 love languages for your kids too, actually. And learning what your kids' love language is. Everybody is different.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you want to dive into each one just a little bit?
Yes, let's go.
The first one is words of affirmation. This is people who, what makes me feel good in my love language is being told, being appreciated verbally. So saying, you look great today. Boy, you did a great job in that presentation last Saturday. She did
Words
a great
of
job.
affirmation.
Yeah, just telling people and being sincere. You can't just be saying it just to say it. But, a lot of people, even when you're at work, you can see people are motivated just by getting an attaboy and some sort of sincere affirmation that they're doing a good job, they look great, that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, they're exceeding your expectations, that sort of thing.
Exactly. I know that is my husband's love language. No doubt about it, hands down, because he always wants to hear, I love you. And I can, honestly admit that sometimes I just take it for granted. I think when we're in a relationship for a long time, sometimes we take that for granted. Oh, I love you. I don't need to tell you. Yeah. But actually, if that is your love language, they do. They want to actually hear it from your voice, or thank you for doing that, and I love you. Just, positive words, yes.
And I have to say, I found this out, I've read about it, and I've also noticed it, but one of the things that can cannibalize a relationship and really cause some serious issues, and it gets uncomfortable if you're out with a couple that does this, is anytime that you're saying something negative or putting your spouse down. It's just one of those things that you might do it because you think it's funny.
Yes, but it's not.
It's really not funny. And for people around you, it's actually somewhat uncomfortable.
I agree.
If you see someone who makes fun of them or, has a nickname for them that's really not kind.
No.
Especially if you have someone that affirmation is their love language and you do something like that, it can take you a long time to get out of the doghouse and to resurrect the hurt feelings and to heal those.
Yes, I agree.
So something to really be careful about in your relationship.
Exactly. So the second love language is acts of service. And I can tell you that is my love language for my husband. Yes.
That's my love language too.
It's like, please don't let me have to tell you, but please, it's Thursday. Please take the garbage out for us. So we live on a long private driveway. It's like, can you please wheel those trash cans all the way to the end for me?
Right. For me, if I come home and my husband's emptied the dishwasher, taken the trash out, or transferred the laundry from one to the other, or folded laundry, quite frankly, it's one of the sexiest things he can do.
Yes.
It can be quite a turn on.
Exactly.
'Cause
Yes.
I love that. It means that
Right.
he does it without me asking.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
and you know what? It happens a lot more frequently once I share with him that that's my love language.
Exactly. I know. And sometimes, I hear, well, why don't you just tell me? Well, it's great if I don't have to tell you and you're just like observant to what's going on around us, right?
Right.
Just do it.
But you're right, that is so my love language. And it has to be done with positivity. It doesn't
Exactly.
make me feel good if someone's emptying the dishwasher but slamming everything as they put it away.
Yes.
Or huffing and puffing as they're taking the garbage out or something like that. It needs to be done with positivity, and it needs to be done something that you're just doing from your heart because you want
Yep.
to.
Exactly.
Because you know that they'll appreciate that.
Yes.
So that is the second one, acts of service.
Yes.
And the third one, I think a lot of times people think this is what women are about.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure that's necessarily the case, but receiving gifts.
Yes.
And it doesn't have to be some elaborate thing. It
Right.
could, of course, just be your favorite, for me, maybe salted caramels. Not that I eat them very often, but that's one of my favorite things. But it could be something small like that.
Yes.
But that's not really something that's my love language.
Right.
I would much rather have service or time together, and I'm being totally honest, than some
Right.
big flashy ring or Rolex or something.
Exactly. And it can be, just a note or something. If you like receiving gifts, sometimes it's just leaving a note for somebody or just maybe sending them little flowers. Some women love that. That's not my love language either. I always tell my husband, because Valentine's Day is getting ready to come up, I'm like, please don't send me flowers.
Right. Yeah, they don't do much for me either. And I have to say that might have changed when I was younger and maybe a little bit more into that.
Yeah.
Gifts might have been more important to me, but
I think like our kids, maybe that's really their love language is,
Right now.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
yeah, for
As
some
they
reason
get
they
older.
take a gift, a gaming item versus a lunch with me. I don't know. I don't know why that would be, but
I don't know.
But it probably changes a little bit over time. But recognizing that is really important.
It is. Yes. So our fourth love language is quality time. And I have to say, sometimes I get torn between my love languages too, but quality time, especially in this day and time, that means no cell phone, no TV, but it is just being together, whether you're just taking a walk and just having that communication. That's part of our problem in society, I think. Is
Right.
People stop communicating.
And that's actually, I think, my husband's love language is quality time. If we are out to dinner, and I just know, and sometimes I get caught up in the minutia of life.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
just my personality. I'm very
Right.
detail oriented. He's more big pictures. But if we're out and we're having a conversation, to bring out your phone
Right.
and to look at it it drives him crazy.
Yeah.
It makes him crazy. So I don't do it, and I've really I don't even think about it because
Yeah.
that's our time together,
Exactly.
at home or there. But spending that quality time together is really important to him. We have this routine at night. We tend to we like to hang out on our back deck when it's nice at night and have maybe a single glass of wine. And just talk about the day and what's
Yep.
going on and what's going on with the kids and each other, and it's just one of those things that's really important to us.
Yeah.
So quality time is one of those love languages that's so simple and inexpensive, but you have
Yeah.
to concentrate because we're so used to being on our devices
Exactly.
or running around like chickens with our head because we're handling so many balls that are juggling in the air.
Right.
So
I think we both encourage everyone that even has kids that quality time with them. Sometimes the life gets really chaotic. You're in between dance, soccer, basketball, football, whatever their activities are, that we don't get that quality time with them. And I know that my son, he used to travel with baseball, so we would go all over the country just traveling, but it usually was just him and I, and that quality time in the car, if you can get your kids trapped in a
Yeah.
car with no electronics,
it's
that's the
awesome.
key.
You keep those earbuds out of reach because otherwise you're doomed.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that car time, I always did value that quite a bit. And then just making an effort. Sometimes they may not, they're busy with things and they might think about it, but if quality time is your love language,
Right.
Initially, sometimes you have to ask for it, and then once that becomes communicated,
Yes.
then you'll find that it will happen more regularly.
Yes.
So,
And the last act of service that Gary Chapman talks about is the physical touch. And I think sometimes when we think physical touch, especially with our spouse or our significant other, we think of it in a sexual context. But actually, that's not really what it's all about. It's just, a nice like hug, knowing I appreciate you. Thank you for being here.
holding hands. Although sex is always a good thing too. Make it the true love language, I guess,
It
not
makes
just sex.
the man really feel good.
And women. I mean, we really, sometimes I think we just need to figure out what's in it for us as well. So
That's true.
But truly, physical touch. That's one of those things we really can't just ignore. I know I'm a hugger. When I see people, I'm just one of those
Me
people.
too.
I'll be like a hugger.
Yes.
So sometimes you'll see people go, ooh,
Sorry,
You have
hugger.
to watch. That's not their love language. Yeah. So, but definitely with your significant other, your spouse,
Yes.
your kids, having that little bit, just showing that bit of affection, so that they know that you're there for them and that you care.
Exactly.
And like I say, just the touch of your hand, holding hands,
Yes.
can mean so much. Yeah.
Exactly. So just to, wrap it back up, so those 5 love languages are your words of affirmation, your acts of service, your receiving gifts, your quality time, and your physical touch. If you think like you don't know what your love language is, or you think like all of those are your love languages, actually try to pick one. He really focuses on picking that one love language. And so he has the website, the5lovelanguages.com, and it actually is a quiz that you can take, and it will tell you what your love language is.
Right, and it's a great way to open up some conversation with your significant other. And so talking with them and saying, they may at first roll their eyes and say, what are we doing now? But that connection, the earlier on in your relationship, you can take that effort. And sometimes even when you're having a rocky point in your relationship, just one person in the relationship taking that time and making that effort to pull you back together can be so refreshing to the other person. And it can really be the difference between rekindling or continuing on separate paths that can end up being quite traumatic. So take that time, learn what your love language is, learn what your significant other's love language is, and really get to know that and then serve that.
Such an important thing. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. Subscribe and download this podcast. We are on Stitchers and iTunes.
Yep. And we also have a membership, fulfilledafter50.com, that you can join, where we do lots of different trainings and that sort of thing. And we also have a free Facebook group. If you just search it out on Facebook, request to join. We have hundreds of women in there, and we serve them each and every day.
Yes. Yeah. So thanks for tuning in. Have a great day.
All right. Figure out your love language.
That's right.
And enjoy.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.